Hello and welcome to tutorial 49 in the series of TradeStation Easy Language tutorials designed to help you learn to program in TradeStation Easy Language. If you remember, in tutorial 48 I demonstrated how you could create a line using linear regression and what the calculations were. One of my clients asked, well, how would we draw a channel surrounding that linear regression line, a certain number of standard deviations away from the line? So that is what we're going to be doing in this tutorial, and we're going to be starting with the exact same program that we finished with in tutorial 48, but we're going to be making a few significant changes to it. And the first thing we're going to need to do, because we're going to be including standard deviations, is just add a couple of inputs, num devs up for the number of standard deviations above the line, and num devs down for the number of standard deviations below the line. I'm just going to call them as such, and that's going to be -2. And the other thing that we're going to use is we're going to have various options for graphs. So I'm not going to use that for a little bit, but I'm just going to put that in now so that it is there when we need it. And incidentally, if you want to download this program, you can do so for a nominal fee from markplex.com. And also, if you're not part of the email list, then please do go and join the list at markplex. Okay, so another thing we need to change, we need to add a couple of variables here, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that now, and as we go through we'll be using that. So we're going to have one where we're going to actually store the calculation of the standard deviation. Put that there, and we're also, I'm going to give the left and right hand side of the linear regression line, I'm going to set that up, those up as variables as well. So we've got left and right. And I'm just going to add another couple of variables here, and probably just fast forward as I do this. Okay, so having set up the variables and the inputs, we're going to now start making a few changes to this program 48. Now the first thing is that we're going to be calculating the standard deviation, and what we're going to calculate the standard deviation of is the point at the right hand side of this line here. Now, because we're going to be needing to look back in history, we're not going to be able to do all of this calculation on the last bar of the chart. So first thing I'm going to do is just get rid of this thing here. So in other words, this thing is now going to calculate on every bar of the chart, and going to get that, calculate M, calculate C. I'm not going to use that, and just going to leave that as it is for the moment. So we're now going to be calculating the value of M and C essentially on every bar. Okay, so if I were to verify this program right now and go to a chart where I've applied it. Okay, so having made that change, it doesn't look to start with like very much is happening, but if we just go back in the chart, you'll see a line here, and then if we change the format for the symbol and just change this to fix, say just arbitrarily choosing 100, you'll see what is actually happening is this this line is being drawn sort of seemingly completely incorrect positioning. Well, let me just explain why that's happening. In fact, let's just go back to the symbol and change that back to automatic. And then if we just look at the program, we'll realize that whereas before we were just running this thing on the last bar of chart, now we're running it on every bar, and you'll see here some Y and some XY are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So one of the things that we're going to need to do at this point is just to reset them to 0 every time that we make a calculation. So I'm going to do that there, and sum xy I'm also going to set to 0, and now just going to press F3 to verify that again, and just go back to the chart and you'll see what's happening. Well, now this is very artistic, but probably not necessarily the most useful thing. We don't necessarily need to plot that line every time, and I'm going to show you 3 different options for plotting these lines, but let's first of all just make a little bit more progress with the program. And another thing that I'm going to do is just calculate left and right, just to make this thing a little bit easier to see. Left being the left point of the linear regression line, and that is equal to m plus underscore c, and the right is equal to num bars multiplied by m plus c. Remember, y equals mx plus c is the formula that we're using here. So we have left and right. Okay, so now we've done the calculation, and we've got several options for drawing this line. So what I'm going to do is, in the next part of the video, we'll start and we'll show you the different options for how we can draw the line.